encoded message. Retrieving encrypted message.
We're under attack! Intruders at the east entrance! Then kill them! What the fuck? It's a division!
Welcome, Agent. Once again, we visit the Ongoing Directive gear set. Let's take a step outside the box and look at the ways we can best utilize the changes the developers have implemented in TU16. Today we will discuss two approaches on how to build with Ongoing Directive. Ongoing falls short in single target damage compared to gear sets like Hunter's Fury, Striker's, Negotiator's Dilemma, and so on. So you want to avoid the common mistake of running crit sub-attributes because it will never match the damage of a crit-focused gear set. Ongoing Directive is status effect focused, not unlike Eclipse Protocol, and should be looked at in a similar light. You want your sub-attributes to be always status effect to maximize our damage over time of the bleed effect the hollow point ammunition applies. The addition the developers made to allow our squad to also reap the benefit of the amplified damage as well encourages the user to mark all the targets in the room before being killed to ensure a steady supply of hollow points to the team. Since you will be changing targets once they are marked, we maximize our damage output by stacking other damage over time effects so that each target is continuously taking damage despite only have been shot a few times. That brings us to our first build setup, and one that I've run a long time even before the update, in every type of content available. Hemorrhage. This is a build you may have seen previously here on the channel and is set up to maximize the damage over time we apply. Our primary weapon is the Pestilence, and its talent applies our first dot effect. Since the Plague of the Outcasts debuff base damage is determined by the weapon's overall weapon damage, we run as many red core attributes as possible. Our second source is the Vile Exotic Mask. It applies a damage over time effect over 10 seconds, with the base damage being determined by our concussion grenades damage and further increased by the status effect attribute. So we run the Demolition specialization for 10% explosives damage to increase the mask's base damage, as well as a China light armor piece for another 15%. Demo also provides the entire squad with 5% damage to targets out of cover, also increasing dot at times. The third source is the bleed damage we apply. It's important to make use of the powerful Ongoing Directive Backpack Talent Trauma Specialist. Increasing bleed duration by 50% and damage by an insane 100% really makes the bleed effect one that can't be ignored by those inflicted. With the three combined effects being all amplified by the Glass Cannon talent, it will cause a substantial amount of damage over time, serving your squad with weakened or dead targets and increased damage to finish off those still clinging to life. A new addition to the build in TU16 is a secondary with the Sledgehammer talent. If ever your squad is facing down a difficult threat and could use an additional damage boost, swap to your secondary and hit the target with a grenade applying the debuff. Then swap back to your primary and get back to business. You may also find yourself in situations where Glass Cannon isn't ideal, like say the Hunter Rush at the end of Countdown. This is a good time to swap to an identical chest piece but with Trauma or the Unbreakable talent. I'd also like to mention the Vaidmeditsia named Petrov chest piece with Perfect Braced. If not for the potency of the Glass Cannon talent, I would choose this option above all others. When selecting your skills, be sure to use ones that apply status effects as a way to get a mark without hollow points. The Jammer Pulse is a personal favorite as it covers a large area around you quickly, and combined with the Vile deals damage to those targets as well. When facing named enemies, hunters or rogues, make sure you're using foam. It honestly is the best for control and is crucial for some situations. Seeker Mine, Mortar, Stinger Hive and Shrapnel Trap all apply bleed, and you have increased explosive damage. Might as well make use of it. And lastly, for your mod slots, Skill Haste in most situations. However, in Countdown I'd throw on some protection from elite mods. The hunters hit very hard and you will become a target easily in the chaos of the Hunter Rush. The next build is a new Ongoing Directive variant I have named Coagulation. It prioritizes support over damage but still utilizes damage over time, while also healing and preventing the targets from dealing damage altogether. Just the same as the Hemorrhage variant, we will use Vile and Trauma Specialist to deal higher damage over time to weaken and kill targets, or you can swap your exotic for Acosta's Go Bag and utilize the Sledgehammer talent more often. We will be swapping the Pestilence for the Blue Screen. Blue Screen is greatly utilized by Ongoing Directive. As you're applying your mark, you're also building stacks and applying control effects to the enemy. We aren't worried about weapon damage. So roll 4 of your cores to yellow and the other 2 are blue cores. All your sub-attributes should be status effect and your mod slots should be repair skills. Use the Survivalist specialization to fast-track special weapon ammo, gain 15% outgoing healing and increase your team's damage to status-affected enemies by 10%. Also, the incendiary grenades work very well alongside the sledgehammer talent. The chest piece everyday carrier with perfect efficient has great synergy with the Survivalist medkit and can keep you and your squad up while you spam medkits in a pinch or when pushing. Alternatively, you can use a Golan piece with Unbreakable, Mad Bomber, Trauma, Overwatch or Empathic Resolve. I even tested it with reassigned with the backup boomstick and it actually worked okay here as a way to apply a status effect when needed to get the hollow point cycle started back up. The Healing Seeker is an all-star here. Just drop it and let it do its thing. You should be focused on marking and have no time to be applying heals. This little guy will do it all for you. As for your other skill, whatever best fits your situation and your play style. I hope that this was helpful to you and thank you for watching. Please reach out to me on Discord or PSN if you have any questions or requests and feel free to leave a comment to discuss today's content. Keep building outside the box, Agent. Fade out.